Hello guys and welcome to my way to fire. Dividend growth investing is a popular investment strategy that can provide stable income for retirement. Receiving dividends regularly like a paycheck sounds great, doesn't it? Well, dividends are not guaranteed and neither are gains in the stock market. There is always the risk of losing money when the price of the shares goes down. Same risk is attached to dividends. They can be cut or simply stopped when the company can no longer afford to pay it out. But how do you know if that'll happen? Some companies have proved themselves over many years that they can provide a stable dividend as well as growth of their stock price. This combines both cash flow from the dividends and appreciation. Such company would have to be healthy and profitable, right? But where can you find such a company? There is actually a list of companies that have provided that over a long period of time. The companies on this list are called the Dividend Aristocrats and there are currently 65 of them. To be included, a company has to meet certain requirements. It has to be in the S&P 500 index, which is also tied to more requirements. But the main part is that the company has to be paying out a dividend consistently, while increasing it annually for at least 25 years. Some other factors are also in play, such as liquidity and market capitalization. Companies that can afford to maintain not only paying out a dividend, but increasing it for at least 25 years are somewhat rare. Over a period of 25 years, the business has had to have withstood a financial crisis. That implies its product is solid and recession-proof. Otherwise they wouldn't be able to keep it up while others are struggling. On the other hand, these companies don't offer huge growth potential. They are well-established companies. Startups and other growth companies might not offer a dividend at all, because they are reinvesting the money into more growth and further expansion of the business. There are actually many well-known companies that are dividend aristocrats. For example, Johnson & Johnson, one of the most valuable companies in the world. You see their products almost every day. They make medications, baby products, skin products, vaccines and much more related to pharmaceutical industry, medical devices and consumer healthcare. This company can boast a prime credit rating of AAA, which only one other company can do. To name some more dividend aristocrats, we have the machinery company Caterpillar, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, ExxonMobil, IBM, McDonald's or Walmart. You can find the whole list online. Some websites even provide a spreadsheet which includes useful information like dividend yield, payout ratio, PE ratio, market cap, etc. Apart from individual stocks, there is also an ETF for the dividend aristocrats. Depending on the selected period, you can have a look if it did better or worse than the S&P 500. Do companies ever leave this list? Although it takes a lot of effort to get among the dividend aristocrats, sometimes it is a better financial decision to stop increasing the dividend for a while, or in the worst case the company has to cut it. For this year 3 companies have been added, while 5 were removed, including the elevator manufacturer Otis. Another big company that is set to leave the dividend aristocrats, after 36 years of dividend increases, is the telecom company AT&T. In case you have not heard yet, it will spin off its Warner Media, which will merge with Discovery to strengthen their streaming potential and be a solid player in this industry among Netflix, Disney Plus and Amazon Prime Video. It will also serve to pay down the debt, which currently stands at around $150 billion. AT&T shareholders will get 71% of the newly formed company, while Discovery shareholders get the remaining 29%. While getting around $50 billion of cash from the spin-off, AT&T is still committed to lowering its outstanding debt further. With its free cash flow, it will target a payout ratio somewhere around 40 to 43%. From the estimates, that works out to be about $8 billion. Altogether, it seems that the dividend will be cut almost in half, but I must say that is not so bad either. Now let's have a little look at the sector overview. The top 2 sectors are consumer staples and industrials. These two account for over 40% of the dividend aristocrats. But if we take a look at the S&P 500, we see a totally different situation, where they make up less than 20%. Another big difference between S&P 500 and the dividend aristocrats comes in the information technology sector. Among the dividend aristocrats it's way lower. But if you think about it, it goes well with what I've said. IT is a fast-growing sector, so it makes much more sense to keep innovating and investing back in the business, rather than paying a dividend. We should get back to the criteria to be considered a dividend aristocrat. The main part is that the company has to increase its dividend for at least 25 years. That is without a doubt the most important aspect, and what makes it so interesting. But what about the must be in the S&P 500 part? To some people it might not be very important. To be included in the index, you have to pass yet another set of conditions. That includes being publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ, the company should be from the US, its market cap should be at least $11.8 billion, etc. By that, many companies are excluded, and that might be a shame. If we leave out the condition of being in the S&P 500 index, then the list of companies that have increased its dividend for at least 25 years gets much bigger. Now you can choose from companies around the world. Dividend growth investing can be divided even further, as 25 years is a pretty long time. Some very valuable companies today didn't even exist 25 years ago. To include these into the dividend growth investing, we have another term, dividend contenders. They are high-quality stocks that have increased their dividend for 10 up to 24 years. These companies have yet to prove themselves to be among the dividend aristocrats, but they already show some promising efforts. Even better, they also tend to grow their dividends faster, as their business usually grows as well. That means that dividend growth can be supplemented by the stock appreciation. The two most valuable companies in the world right now are dividend contenders. The second most valuable company in the world, Microsoft, has been increasing its dividend for many years now. And the number one company, Apple, has done so too. Apple has now increased its dividend for 11 straight years. Both companies have fairly low dividend yields, but they increase it quite a lot. They also share low payout ratios, so the increases will hopefully continue. Lockheed Martin Corporation, founded all the way back in 1909, one of the largest players in military support, aerospace, technology and security. The world's largest defense contractor measured by revenue. Most of the revenue comes from military sales, and Lockheed Martin received almost 10% of the funds paid out by Pentagon in 2013. That's another dividend contender, with 20 years of dividend increases under its belt. And there are many more companies you probably know that are dividend contenders: Nike, Visa, MasterCard, JP Morgan or Pfizer, to name a few. What about companies that have fewer than 10 years of dividend increases, but started to make some progress? For the last group, we generally use the term dividend challengers. To become a dividend challenger, a company has to increase its dividend for 5 to 9 years. By lowering the track record needed, as it was with the dividend contenders, we increase the risk of this streak ending. Companies can go 5 to 9 years without going through a financial crisis, so this time period is not as telling as 25 years or more. At the same time, the potential for growth is usually higher as well. If you choose well, then you might get yourself a future dividend aristocrat for a great price and see huge dividend increases in upcoming years. To give you some examples again, I found some companies that I have heard of before, which are dividend challengers. Those include the online bank Ally Financial with 6 years of dividend increases. The current yield is 2.4%. Another one is the Bank of America with a current yield of 1.8% and 8 years of dividend increases. I don't want to make this list too long, so I will finish this off with one more example of a dividend challenger, and that is Intel. This semiconductor chip manufacturer offers a 3.2% yield and has also increased its dividend for 8 years. On the other hand, Intel's stock price has been decreasing. It wrote off 25% of its value over the last 12 months. This either means it is in big trouble or it could be an opportunity to buy this stock now. I don't have much information about the current status of Intel, but it might be worth a deeper dive. Guys, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit the like button to support this channel, and if you are interested in more videos about investing, personal finance and just overall money related topics, then make sure you subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.